Israeli Prime Minister. Now on social media post on X, Prime Minister Netanyahu has stated that he has instructed the relevant authorities that Cardinal Pierbattista Pizzaballa, the Latin Patriarch, be granted full and immediate access to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. He further stated that over the past several days, Iran has repeatedly targeted the holy sites of all three monotheistic religions in Jerusalem with ballistic missiles, and that to protect worshippers, Israel asked members of all faiths to temporarily abstain from worshipping at the Christian, Muslim and Jewish holy sites in Jerusalem's old city. Mr. Singh, I want to come to you here now. Very interesting religion angle that Jerusalem has now propped up in strikes, in preventing strikes from Iran. But when it's a time of war, of course, Iran will target anything and anything that cripples the enemy nation.
You see, Kriti, if we understand, try to understand the nature of the war, it's not like a war between the nations. In fact, it's a terrorist style strikes and counter strikes, number one. Number two is the second thing, which is more important. We can understand the whole situation in the intersectionality of the three things: the geo-economic interest, politico-strategic tactics, and the civilizational consolidation. And the intersectionality of all three is very complicated and very complex. And here, Israel is trying to give this war an orientation of the civilizational conflict and want to keep it longer. Because Israel being a smaller state, Israel's population is less than the Indian diaspora in the West Asian countries. So the Israel has an interest, and in fact, sometimes Israel itself calls it the survival strategy. So Israel wants that it should get a civilizational orientation where the Islamic civilization on the one side and the Christian Zionist civilization on the other side. Besides the geo-economic interest and politico-strategic tactics of different countries and different groups. So how now the situation is becoming complex, and all the more the strikes and counter strikes are not only military establishment and the new power plants, it's going beyond. Because the day before yesterday, the Israel or maybe US strike the Tehran University of Science and Technology when some persons died as well. And Iran is taking more retaliatory stand, not the initiative and fast striking. Here, if we see the 1 year period, I think initially people were not in favor of the Khomeini regime and its governance pattern. But now gradually Iran is getting sympathy of the people around the world. And it was visible yesterday in United States when there was a strong protest movement against the Trump's involvement in the Iran-Israel war. So the situation, Iran is getting somewhat sympathy despite the blockage of the Hormuz states, and now there are talks about the blocking of the Bab al-Mandab state in the Red Sea area. So people around the world are in favor of Iran, but US wants to have an exit strategy, but right at the moment the exit strategy is lacking. And how the four countries meeting in Pakistan, Egypt, Turkey, Saudi and Pakistan, that is not the negotiation. They just discussed the situation arising out of this war. So right at the moment, I don't see any kind of negotiating process, whatever the sense of history and realistic awareness I do have about politics. Of course, we have been talking in media about the 15 points of President Trump's proposal and then the 6 points of Iran's proposal, but nothing like that. It's not the negotiating process at all in any way. Over.
Yes.